Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Right, we are looking at a beer now. It's the second to last beer that I got from my last Trembling Madness order, which was back in 26th of January. I've just checked the sheet. And to be honest, off that order I think there was one glass and 20 beers. And I think this was probably the most sort of interesting beer that I picked out on the order. When I do the orders from there, or when I've done orders from there, I've always tried to go to different breweries that I've not had much from, or brand new breweries and what have you. And I saw this, and the biggest thing that caught my eye really with it was the fact it was a big bottle. And the brewery we're going to out of London, and it's the Kernal. Now I've had a couple of beers from them, from what I remember, been good. And when I saw this beer, and at the ABV, and at the price and the size of the bottle, I had to give it a go. So what we're looking at now from them is their Export India Porter. Apologies for the light, it's the same old moaning about it. It's an Export India Porter. It's coming in at 6% in a 500ml bottle, and that was £3.20. Now, bearing in mind the Kernal are a craft brewery, if you like. I'm just going to turn the bottle upside down in case there is any sediment. Try and stir it up a little bit first. But bearing in mind they're a craft brewery and they're dishing out something in a 500ml bottle at 6%, and obviously Trembling Madness is going to be making their bit on it, and it's still costing £3.20. I think that's not exactly a ridiculous price for a beer. You know, we're looking at £2 for a standard beer anywhere you go, any day of the week. So I'm hoping that this is going to live up to that £3.20 price tag. So yeah, let's get it cracked open. There's a glass I'm going to use. I'm going to just use a standard shaker style glass. Plain silver bottle cap, and just quickly, there you are. That's their branding, that's what they do. So let's get it cracked open and see what we get. And hopefully it's not going to shoot out. Plenty of smoke on the opening. I did worry for a second. The moment I went, I thought, oh shit, have I shaken it up too much? Look at that. That looks fantastic. There was a little bit left in the bottom, as you can see on camera. I'll chuck that in after. I was a bit more vigorous with the pour, just to make it look a bit more attractive. But look at that. Looks like a lovely beer. I think when you get a stout or a porter, when it looks something like that, you think, wow, that looks really good. Obviously, never guaranteed on taste, but looks decent. I'm going to hold it up to the light. Nothing getting through there, so I'm going to call that jet black. I'm holding it up against a window there. You might not be able to see, but that's up against a window. The light's coming through. Jet black. We've got a tan head. It's a mix and match bubble head. There's about a finger and a half, 2 fingers ahead. Looks decent. So let's stop waffling, dive in on the nose and see what we get. India Porter, yeah, you definitely get that IPA feel in there. So an India Porter, if you like, it's dark. It's almost a porterist stout, like, if you like, but lighter. An India Porter tends to be a lot more hoppy, and for me, you get that sort of more IPA sort of aroma. You do get the hops, and it's lovely. It's not overwhelming. What it is it's not subtle, but it's not overwhelming. A nice maltiness in there. A nice richness of dark malts. It smells fantastic. It really does. It's almost black. We're talking black IPA, really, aren't we, with this? I would say. We're talking black IPA. So let's stop waffling. Dive in on Kernal's Export India Porter, 6%. Cheers. That is lovely. That is lovely. It's going again. I will say I know porters are lighter. I know IPA sort of have a lighter feel than that. So you expect it to be lighter. But I think even for this at 6%, I was expecting a little bit more body. It's not watery by no means, don't get me wrong. But I was just expecting a bit more weight to it. It is quite well carbonated as well. I would say it's almost got more of an IPA kind of feel in the carbonation. It's pretty smooth, but that lightness in the body, I'm kind of picking that up a little bit more. But on the taste, the more you dive in, the more the porter side comes to this beer. So the first couple of mouthfuls, it was very much sort of like that hop thing. As your palate adjusts, that sort of, I don't want to call it robust, but you know what I mean, that rich porter stout-like feel, that rich maltiness, that roastiness in there. Sort of certainly sits more at the front. It is a little bit bitter as well on the front. And that sort of hoppy IPA taste sort of just sits at the back now. So really you get more of the porter at the front for me, the more you drink it. You sort of get that IPA citrus hoppy sort of note coming through, excuse me, some bubbles building up and the hiccups. But back on the back end though, after that bitterness comes back in. That's a decent beer. And for me, they got the balance right. It's very drinkable. It's a little bit lighter in body. Me personally, although for some people that lighter body would suit them more, I'd like it just to be a little bit heavier. I mean, if I was going to have any faults with the beer, I think it would be the body, that it is just a tad light. It's just a tad light. I would like to feel a little bit more. I know maybe you're not going to sort of get it with an India Porter, but a little bit heavier, maybe a little bit creamier. And it's the creaminess I don't really think you're going to get with this. So I'd like it a little bit heavier, maybe personally for my taste. But it's a really decent beer. I think they've balanced the flavours out perfectly on this. 6%, do you get that? No. I think you know it's a stronger number, but you know, if you sat there drinking this beer and you said to somebody, "Oh, that's 6%, try that," I don't think you'd get that. So for me, I'm going to end it now because I'm waffling now. But for me, the Kernal and their Export India Porter coming in at 6% is a really decent beer. I'm going to say it's more on the edge. You know, them being craft and that. I think it's got a big traditional sort of feel about it, and I think it will appeal to people because it's not too overpowered with the craft side. They've not like tried to do anything over fancy with this, but at £3 bloody 20 for that 500ml bottle, that is a decent drop. So yeah, if you like your porters, give it a go. If you've had it before, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you again soon on another one. Cheers.